the organizing committee has demanded the dismissal of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, in response to the killing of protesters. This demand was made during a candlelight symposium held in honor of the victims at the Rights House in Ikeja, Lagos State on Friday. Recalled that the committee based at the Gani Fawemi Freedom Park in Ojota, Lagos had declared 3 days of mourning for those killed nationwide during the ongoing End Bad Governance protest. The hunger strike, which was intended to last for 10 days, is now on its 9th day, or as at Friday, and today is the 10th day. Amnesty International has accused Nigerian security forces of killing at least 21 protesters during a week of demonstrations against economic hardship. Now, this is what we are trying to avoid, the death of anybody at all, not just protesters, but anybody at all. Now, that might be the reason why the police in Rivers State has cordoned every other person that is protesting to 2 venues, the Abali Park and the Pleasure Park. And also, we are seeing a situation where there was damage of lives, there was damage of property, and also now the organizers are calling for the sack of the IGP. But in Rivers State here, the police have been professional. There has not been loss of lives here, although there has been damage of property. And we are trying to see how much we can be able to contain the protests, which should hold, but within the ambits of the law. What do you have to say about concerning the call for the sack of the IGP? Hasn't he been professional enough?
Well, I think the call is limited.
Okay.
That call for the sack of the IG is limited.
Okay.
It's not supposed to be limited. I don't think it's supposed to be limited. So it's actually unfortunate that they are requesting for just one sack. We have a lot of persons that need to be sacked. We have a lot of persons that need to resign their position. We have a lot of persons that need to be ashamed of their positions. And number one is the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He should resign, since nobody can sack him. If the judiciary can no longer sack him, then he should resign as Mr. President, because Nigeria have sacked him already. As we speak, the renewed hope have lost hope in Nigerians. As we speak, there's no renewed hope. As we speak, there's no hope for Nigerians. Nigeria have lost hope, has lost confidence, and have also lost interest in the current administration.
The institution of the student loans, that
everybody has lost interest.
The student loan is going to give hope to people that are not able to further education.
Now, when you talk about student loan being able to give hope, do you know how many orphans are training themselves in school? Do you know how many students that cannot even afford a smartphone as we speak? Do you know how many students that cannot even have direct or have a link or access to internet facility? Do you know how many students as we speak that are squatting? Do you know how many students as we speak that are begging to survive? Do you know how many students as we speak that have not even been able to pay their 2 years school fees? Do you know how many students as we speak that have graduated but not been satisfied because of what they are owing the institution? Do you know how many students that as we speak right now cannot even take care of their transport to go to school or to attend lectures? Do you care about them?
That's why you brought the student loan.
Now, the student loan you are talking about or you are bringing up to people, is it actually, to an extent, what impact is it going to make to those students that do not have access, that do not have access to internet facility or have opportunity to access what it takes to access internet? You know, when you want to look for situation, a government that is in place should ensure that even in your community you can benefit or feel the presence of the government. You shouldn't wait until you go to the city. You shouldn't wait until you pay rent in the city before you can benefit from the system of government. You should be able to feel the impact of every responsible government, even at your comfort zone in your community.
What about the compressed natural gas and also the...
As we speak, like I said, let me end up with the case of the Lagos. Let me round up with that.
Okay.
And like I said, the call is limited. The call for sack or for resignation should be first on Mr. President. The call for sack or resignation should also be for the Group Managing Director of NNPC, the CEO of NNPC, Mele Kyari. He actually have to be sacked. He actually have to resign. I think this approach that the protesters are supposed to take directly to. This approach are supposed to protect directly to their domain, even to their personal abode. We should protest to their personal house. We should protest to their direct house, because we are suffering. They have put us in this hardship. They have put us in this sorrow situation. And you say we should not speak because we are afraid of you. Are we afraid of you? We are not afraid of you. So why shouldn't we speak? This protest should go to the house of Mele Kyari and not to his office alone. Mele Kyari, the group manager of director, the group manager of NNPC, should be sacked, should resign. It doesn't mean well for Nigerians. We are aware of this issue between Bola Ahmed Tinubu and himself. We are told that he employed Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Mobile. And that's why Bola Ahmed Tinubu returned him for this second tenure or third tenure. Is he supposed to be returned? Has his impact in NNPC been felt positively on Nigerians? So why is he still there? Mele Kyari, the group managing director of NNPC, does not mean well for Nigerians. So he should be sacked. What is the reason? What is the brand behind Mr. President still keeping him there? Nigerians are crying. You have not been able to add your voice upon price. What are Nigerians crying for? Electoral reform. What are Nigerians crying for? Make sure you bring down the pump price. Make sure the electoral reform and look into. Make sure the economic situation is being looked into. These are the cries of Nigerians. Is it something beyond Mr. President? Kudos. I want to pay at this point. I want to send my sincere condolence to two reputable Nigerians, Ifeanyi Ubah and Wigwe. I think that should teach Mr. President a lesson, because if Ifeanyi Ubah was supposed to pay for his life, he can pay for the next 300 years to live on earth. With all the money, he still answer the nature's call. With all his money, he still pay respect to the call of nature. He is dead today with all the billions he has in his account, even the one he does not know where it is. Today, he is a dead man. May his soul rest in peace. I think these politicians that are looting Nigeria resources should at least take the case study of Ifeanyi Ubah and Wigwe. Wigwe is dead today. I was thinking Dangote was a busy man. I was thinking Dangote does not even have chance for himself. But I was surprised that Dangote was in Rivers State 24 seconds for the death of Wigwe. At a point, I was thinking Dangote was from Rivers State because he was always in Rivers State. This is a Dangote I thought never had a chance for himself. But because of the death of Wigwe, Dangote was always in Port Harcourt, was always in Rivers State, paying homage or tribute to the death of Wigwe. That's to tell you how rich and how influential Wigwe was. For Dangote to come and stay in his community, for Dangote to attend all the processes of the funeral. That's to tell you that Wigwe was also a big fish. Today, he is dead. With all the money Wigwe has, I'm quite sure Wigwe would have lived for the next 200 years or 1,000 years on earth. But yet, his money couldn't sustain him. His money couldn't keep him alive. So what do you think you'll be alive? With all the looting, with all the wealth you are accumulating for yourself, where are you taking it to, Mr. President? The Chief of Defense Staff that said he's going to deal with Nigerians for protesting, for speaking out their hunger situation. And you threaten Nigerians on the press, on the world, a live press briefing. And you expect us to clap for you. We should be afraid because you're wearing a military camouflage. We should be afraid of you because you're the Chief of Defense Staff. And you expect me to be hungry and then keep quiet. You expect me to be hungry while your children are living abroad enjoying. How many of his children know what you are passing through? How many of his children have passed through this stage we are passing through?
But the call he called for the
how many of his children have passed what you are passing
the Russian flag.
These are people that need to be sacked.
The flying of the Russian flag was enough for him to...
So the hunger situation is not enough for him to talk to Mr. President.
It doesn't call for the
hunger situation
intervention by
Russia. That is what we call petty politics. What are you doing? Are you actually representing the Nigerian security situation? I am quite sure with the level of insecurity, the Chief of Defense Staff should be more concerned about how to reduce the insecurity situation and advise Mr. President, in as much as we have the NSA. They are supposed to work together. All the security agencies are supposed to come together and advise Mr. President to reduce hunger on Nigerians so that their work also will be reduced. What do you think you are doing? You have what it takes to advise Mr. President. Mr. President, the death rate in Nigeria is going higher. One, the criminal rate in Nigeria is becoming higher. Two, the level of internet fraudster is becoming higher. Three, the level of people going about duping other Nigerians to sustain a living is becoming higher. All in the name of sustaining a living. Mr. President, what can we do to address the hunger situation? What can we do to reduce insecurity in our state? What can we do to ensure that the workload is less in terms of security situation in this country? What do you tell Mr. President? We cannot advise Mr. President to reduce hunger situation. What is the cause of all of this? Why am I here shouting, if not because of hunger? Why am I here shouting? It's not because I can't take care of my responsibilities again. Why am I here shouting? It's not because I cannot even meet up my expectation anymore. Why am I here shouting? It's not because sometimes I might not even be able to meet up my rent. How many Nigerians are owing their rent as we speak? And they don't even have what it takes to even renew their rent. They don't even have hope of how they're going to renew their rent. Shelter, number one priority, and food, the number one priority to Nigerians. You cannot take care of it. And you expect Nigerians to clap for you. And you expect to be, because you're wearing a military camouflage, you think we should be afraid that you're taking a decision, so we all run and look for where to hide, or look for a hiding place. Because you are now God in our life. So I think at this point, it is actually necessary for Mr. President, and for those that are working with him, the NSA and the Chief of Defense Staff, the IG, and all security agencies, the Director General of GSS, and the rest of them, to have a security meeting with Mr. President. They should have a security meeting with Mr. President. And the purpose of this security meeting should be on how to reduce insecurity. Number one, how to reduce hunger. Hunger is leading to this insecurity. Economic situation is leading to insecurity. The hardship is leading to insecurity. And you cannot tell Mr. President, you cannot advise Mr. President as service chiefs. So what are you doing? What is your expectations? We have lost hope in all of them. We don't have hope in them again. You cannot tell me, you cannot advise Mr. President to reduce the hard situation people are passing through. And people are protesting. People leave their responsibilities to go out and protest. And you sit down, you plan to hijack the protest, and you want to put it on innocent Nigerians. Look at the face of the young boys that have been killed. How many of them are looking healthy? How many of them are looking like people that have eaten? Now, in the banners you saw, in the pictures you saw displayed on your screen, how many of these Nigerians that have lost their death or lost their life in the midst of this protest, how many of them are looking at people that can even sustain a 1 square meal? They were part of this protest because they needed to survive. Look at the faces you are seeing. How many of them can be able to meet up 1 square meal? And then we have a country, we have a president that never care about these people.
Sir, in your position as the South Youth Initiative National President, and being that the crux of people coming out for this protest today are going to be youths, it behoves on you to be able to give words of encouragement and also of guidance to the youths, even as they come out to protest today, not to be engaged in vandalism, not to also endanger the lives of innocent Nigerians, because we are all in this. We want you to use this platform to be able to give words of endearing words to the youths, to be able to lessen down anything that is going to conflagrate the country and even our state, Rivers State. Don't forget, even the president has also been able to attend to high prep matters, even concerning Ogoniland. He is very, very concerned about the cleanup issues in Ogoniland. Even when there was a protest by stakeholders in Ogoniland concerning the leader of the coordinator of the high prep, and he reinstated him. That means that we have a president that is listening. What do you think, sir?
First,
this to
the only encouragement as a youth leader, as a regional youth leader that I represent South Youth Initiative as a national president.
Exactly, sir.
And the only encouragement I have for the Niger Delta youth, the only encouragement I have for South youth is that they should keep their hope alive. Anything that needs to be done to ensure that our message is heard should be done. Anything that need to be that need to do, or we need to do to ensure that Nigeria feels our pain, they should go ahead and do it.
At least without vandalism.
Anything that they will need to do to ensure that the message is sent to the highest authority, Nigeria should go ahead. Anything that need to be done to ensure that Mr. President also in his own comfort zone felt our pain and also get pain, they should do it. Anything that will make Mr. President sit down and regret his action, they should do it. Anything that makes Mr. President sit down and appreciate the fact that Nigerians are angry, they should do it. Anything that will make Mr. President even run out of the villa and then make Mr. President know that Nigerians are angry, they should do it. Anything that will make Mr. President feel uncomfortable in the villa, they should do it. In as much as it will make Nigerians to express their anger, in as much as it will make Nigerians to make Mr. President understand that we are dying. I have said it before and I will say it again. I'd rather die for a just cause than to allow hunger to kill me. I'd rather die trying to survive than to allow hunger to kill me. I'd rather die speaking out than to allow hunger to kill me. I'd rather die trying to express my anger than to allow hunger to kill me. I will never allow hunger to kill me. And the only thing I will do is to ensure that I express my concern. If it demands, if it requires me showing being disrespectful, I don't care. In as much as it makes me tell Nigerians the truth, in as much as it makes me, Mr. President, feel the impact of my pain. Now, talking about high prep, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not actually have love for the people of Ogoni. Mr. President has no love or concern for the people of Ogoni. First, Mr. President have addressed Nigerians. And all they addressed, he has not told Nigerians of how we can come out of this poverty. Even the custom duty or the tax duty he talked about was going to remove. How many months? 6 months. I will be back to square one, back to square zero. For just 6 months. For just 6 months. It would have been better I never even mentioned it than to say, Nigerians, you are going to get out of this relief for just 6 months. For how many years of your office? You have 4 years to be in office. And you say you want to just give us a little tip of the eye breath for just 6 months. That is even more pain to us. That's to tell you that Mr. President does not mean well for us. That's to tell you that Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not mean well for Nigerians. That's what it means. That's what Mr. President does not care about the sufferings and the demands of Nigerians.
He reinstated the coordinator.
Now, you did that because there were so many calls.
Which he replied.
Which he could not even say no to the calls. The UN Secretary General, the former Minister of Environment, Hamina Mohammed, call him. Ogoni issue or no local issue. You don't try it. You don't dare it. Even the former governor of Rivers State, the current FCT minister, yes, Omuke, stay out of Ogoni issue. Even the $200 million US that Ogoni people are preparing against him. When the times will come, even Wike will run out of it. When the Ogoni people comes out and they are ready for Wike, you will see the heat. All these things you are saying, accumulating anger is coming up. Accumulating means of expression. We have movement for the survival of Ogoni people that are ready to speak up anytime soon. So very moment from now, you will hear people speak. You will hear the Ogoni people speak. When Wike was the governor of Rivers State, he told Rivers people he does not want to venture into the case of Ogoni. That he does not want to get involved. Ogoni issues is not a local issue. Ogoni issues are international issue. Out of all the platform that we have in Nigeria, it is only Ogoni that Mossop has a branch in USA, Canada, London. Mossop has Mossop diaspora. It's not localized. Mossop is not localized. Movement for the survival of the Ogoni people is not a local organization. It's not a local platform. So we cannot speak and you will not obey. You cannot, you hear yourself, you see yourself in the International Court of Justice. That's where you see yourself. And nobody will tell you that you are going to be there. When you remove Usabi, do you know how many protests, how many Nigerians, how many people call him beyond Nigerians? He couldn't even sit in his office for just 2 minutes. In the first place, what was the process of sacking the man? Do we have a sense? Do you have a sense of reasoning? Do you have a government that pay attention to the demands of the people? Do you have a government that care about the people? What was the process of sacking? And what was the process of recruiting? In your New Year message or in your broadcast, what did you tell Nigerians? What did you tell the people of Ogoni? I probably Ogoni cleanup exercise was implemented by Muhammadu Buhari. And why was it implemented? During Buhari's tenure to contest, in his first tenure, when Amechi was the Director General of his campaign, they came together and they agreed with the late Giniwa, His Royal Majesty J.A.K. Giniwa. I was there when Giniwa told Manusabe, when Manusabe and Amechi were still in good terms, they were still 5 and 6. And then we were seated in the palace of the king. And upon our departure, before we left, he told us that he was going to invite the president, the APC aspirant, presidential aspirant, to come and campaign Ogoni. How do we see it? I said, our king, it's a good one. Let's try this one. Because then Goodluck failed us to implement the Ogoni cleanup exercise after 90 days of notice. And that was what led us to Akpajo on the east-west road section of Ogoni to protest for the IPLEP to be implemented. After we wrote a letter to Goodluck, the then president, we expected our response in 90 days. The Goodluck Bello Jonathan never responded to our letter, never implemented the Ogoni cleanup exercise. So what happened? We went out on the street and protest. And there became, security agencies came to threaten us, but we refused because we are Ogonis. We are not afraid of threats. Now at the end of the day, Goodluck Bello Jonathan didn't do anything about it. So when Buhari came up to contest, and Amechi was the Director General of the Campaign Council, what do? Our brother was very close to Amechi then. They were 5 and 6. Senator Madison Geyabi. So the message was sent to Grinwa. And Grinwa, the late king, actually welcomed the message and invited Senator Manusabe and told him, please tell Amechi, you are close to him, to bring Buhari to come and campaign in Ogoni. Buhari received, Amechi received the information. I was excited about it and immediately informed and made preparation to bring Buhari to come and campaign in Ogoni. And that was where that campaign was taken to Grinwa's hall in Sakpenwa, inter-local government area of Rivers State. So when the campaign went there, one of the things Grinwa went over to the then aspirant, who later became Nigeria former president, was the Ogoni implementation book, the Ogoni UNEP report. That was what he handed over to him and said, implement this UNEP report in Ogoni land, this cleanup exercise. And Buhari pick it up and assured Ogonis that if he emerged as the president of this country, that he was going to implement this report in 100 days in office. And that was what Buhari told Ogonis. And it was not even up to 100 days in office, about 60 or 70 days in office, when Buhari implemented the Ogoni UNEP report and make it the cleanup exercise that is ongoing now. Ever since Buhari implemented that report, there is no October, there is no independent day that Buhari addressed Nigerians without adding that as part of his address. There is no way that ever since Buhari was there, he has never addressed Nigerians, speak on Nigerian issue without addressing the Ogoni cleanup exercise in his address. He has never escaped it. I listened to him almost all times, and then he has never escaped that particular one. Kudos to him, and I appreciate that part of him. Going forward, Tinubu has come. You have not mentioned anything about the Ogoni cleanup exercise because you want your Yoruba brother to be everywhere, because you want your Yoruba sentiment to be everywhere. You remove an Ogoni man that is saddled with the responsibility of overseeing or supervising the project, and then brought a Yoruba man. I expect Ogonis to clap up for him because he think Ogoni is Nigeria. The only set of people he will not play with is Ogonis. Those that he's talking about oil in Ogoni, he should be very careful. The oil issue in Ogoni land has taken up to 2,000 something lives. And Ken that was killed by oil multinationals, Shell, another oil multinationals that was killed by Shell. You have not even addressed the issue that led to the death of the people. But you are so interested in resuming oil exploration. Why is our government so wicked? Why is our government so careless? Why is our government so clueless about the benefit, the success of the people? Why is our government not concerned and passionate about the success of our people? People were killed because of this oil issue. You are not concerned about exonerating or care about how the people was killed. You are not concerned about the way forward. You are not concerned about what led to the killing. You are not concerned about what led to Shell being chased out of Ogoni land. You are just concerned about taking back the oil. The oil that belongs to the people. The gas that belongs to the people. Ogoni land is blessed with oil and mineral resources. So if you want to take the oil, the Ogoni people are not saying we don't want to give out our oil. The Ogoni people are not saying they are not interested in the oil. What they are saying is that adequate compensation to be given to the Ogoni people, because the action was not taken out of greed. The action was not taken out of selfishness. The action was taken because all multinational companies that operate in Ogoni operated in Ogoni, and they make sure the people suffered even when they have what to take, just like the case of Nigeria. And the Ogoni people couldn't keep quiet, and they came out to tell Nigeria government, came out to tell Shell multinationals, other multinational companies, we don't need you again. You cannot be operating on our land for complete 50 years or how many years today, and the people have no impact. The people could not have good roads, could not have good life. People cannot have good healthcare center. The people cannot have any good life in the area. And you expect people to be clapping for you. Who does that? So at that point, the people came about vandalization. And that was why pipeline was vandalized. That was why Shell was shut out of Ogoni land. That was what led to the death. Ken was alive then. And Ken couldn't bear so much of atrocities that was committed on the life of the Ogoni people. And what happened? Ken came out alongside with the Badidem, alongside with other stakeholders in Ogoni, and said we don't need Shell again. We don't need a company that will operate on our land and will not give us what befits us. And people should go. Let another company comes. And that was what led to the oil exploration that was stopped because of land degradation. Now, at this point in time, as a president, what you are supposed to do is not to come and ask for oil resumption immediately. No! You're supposed to set up a committee, and then look at what led to the chasing out of Shell out of Ogoni land. What led to Ogoni oil not being used up to this point. That's what you're supposed to be concerned about, and not be concerned about oil resumption. Be concerned about the actions that led to this situation. You be concerned about that. Then you first address the issue. The Ogoni state that have been talked about. Now, state is going on. As we speak, in the National Assembly, the state creation, the Ogoni state creation is not part of it. And you expect the people to be happy. Yet you want to come and drill oil from Ogoni land without addressing the core burden of the people of Ogoni, without addressing the core issue that affects the people of Ogoni. The people are talking about exoneration. People are talking about state creation. People are talking about how to be in charge of their own be in charge of their resources. You are not talking about it. People are talking about resource control. You are not talking about it. All you are interested is that you must take oil from Ogoni. Let him come and try it. Let him come and try it. But I want him to understand it will not be the case like it was. So at this point, I think Mr. President should understand that this is not what we are expecting. If Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not ready to become Nigeria president, he should resign alongside with those that are advising him wrongly.
Thank you, sir.